Back in Mission Control Houston for CFT Starliner flight. So prior to launch, our team was monitoring a small helium leak in Starliner's propulsion system. Teams took a closer look at that system before the crew went to sleep, and they closed all of the helium manifold valves to collect data and observed 2 more small leaks, one in port 2, one in port 1, and one in top 1. The ground made crew aware before they went to sleep for the night, and teams have been working on it while the crew gets some rest. To recap, the original helium leak we were monitoring prior to launch was the one in port 2. After testing all of the 8 Starliner systems helium manifolds, we found a leak that was isolated to one flange in one of the spacecraft's 28 reaction control system, or RCS thrusters, which makes small little adjustments on orbit. And even more specifically, a tiny seal about the size of a button on a men's dress shirt. Overnight, the teams are going to keep top 1 and port 1 closed, and they will reopen port number 2. That will give the teams the ability to manage the spacecraft. We do have confirmation from our engineering support teammates at Boeing that the helium system remains safe for flight. This was not unexpected, and we planned for cases like this. The team will work to make sure we're in a good configuration to complete our mission.
And that is what you're watching live on your screen. These are flight controllers who are actively monitoring the Boeing crew flight test mission. They're here working on a forward plan on the helium leaks detected on Starliner, but at this time there is no impact to docking and the crew is safe. They'll wake up. The flight controllers here in the room will wake up the astronauts if needed, but so far there's no indication of needing to do so. The crew will wake up in just over 4.5 hours from now. Meanwhile, down the hall here in Mission Control, the International Space Station Flight Control team continues to plan for their arrival at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Looking up at the clocks here, this mission, since it's been 13 hours since liftoff, we're going to have a relatively quiet night as we work on that forward plan for the leak, and we expect our next burn to fine-tune the path to the International Space Station in just under 9 hours. We'll be back with our live views soon. In the meantime, we're going to recap some of the events from earlier today with our launch day highlights.